Where is Teofimo Lopez since Devin Haney became undisputed? Inquiring minds want to know. That's what I'll talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. It could all be very simple, but people in boxing, in the world of boxing, try so hard. Make sure you guys come in and subscribe to my channel, The Best Doing It. People come in and they try so hard to fabricate the truth, and they try so hard to get around the actual facts and complicate things when it's not needed. You see on the screen, last year, May 26th, 11:44 a.m. to be exact, Teofimo Lopez on his verified page, he texted or tweeted this: "Maybe if you all, the WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, and Ring would show respect to me as your, quote, undisputed world champion, then I will show you all the same. Till then, enjoy the show, June 19th. So many people in the world of boxing gallivanted around the sport, posing and pretending to be undisputed. And that was Teofimo, the WBC, etc. Now, the WBC came out and said, oh, Teofimo's undisputed, but that really doesn't count because the whole reason we're in this mess is because of the WBC. So they're just trying to clear the tracks and, you know, get the dogs off the scent for the mess that they made. Devin Haney told you nobody could be undisputed until they fight Devin Haney. Roll the clip. Now that Devin Haney went to Australia, defied all odds, there's some people, a lot of people that said, hey, this is a dangerous move, buddy. Don't go to Australia because the judges are going to rob you. Devin Haney wasn't bothered about any of that. High risk, high reward, right? There's people that said, hey, you know, you and your dad are tripping. You know, shout out to Bill Haney. I got to give Bill Haney his props. Bill Haney is he's a great dad, man, because he really did some unorthodox things in his son's career, and luckily it's all played out for him and his son. And like I said, with that high risk comes high reward. But there were a lot of people that were like, oh no, don't do it, Devin. The Australians are going to rob at the judges. And he said, man, just give me fair judging and the opportunity. I'll match you. And that's what he did. And he dominated Kambosos Jr. Kambosos looked horrible to me. Like, you really wonder how Kambosos even was able to beat Teofimo, how bad he looked versus Devin. And that's just being honest with y'all. You know, you look at Devin, you look at how the fight played out, you're like, man, this the guy that beat Teofimo? Because Teofimo looked like he showed a lot of promise when he beat Lomachenko. And I actually picked Teofimo to beat Lomachenko. But nonetheless, Devin took the risk, went to Australia. Like I said, things could be as easy as you make them. Teofimo ran around saying he was undisputed. The WBC ran around saying that he was undisputed. Where are they now? Where's the WBC? Where's Mauricio Suleiman? Because Devin Haney, previous to beating Kambosos, said he wasn't interested in the franchise champion. So now it looks extremely bad. You have a black American fighter in Devin Haney who took the risk, won definitively, won with no controversy, won without, you know, getting dropped like Teofimo Lopez, and convincingly won. And old media went out of their way to say Lomachenko, George Kambosos, and Teofimo were all undisputed, which we knew that didn't even make sense. I talked about this. Why y'all play games with me in this boxing sport, man? The word by the actual Webster's dictionary, the word undisputed, Teofimo cannot be that if you know the English language. Oxford Languages, the word undisputed, adjective, not disputed or called in question. Accepted. Quote, an example would be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Synonyms, similar, undoubted, uncontested, unchallenged, unquestioned, not in question. These synonyms, these words do not go in line with the questions and the situation with Teofimo Lopez, because that's the polar opposite of what people did. People didn't accept it. My channel didn't accept it. Real boxing fans didn't accept it. They didn't look at Teofimo as undisputed. So I don't care what ESPN said. I don't care what Suleiman said, the WBC said. You can't take an English word that is defined by Merriam-Webster in Oxford languages and has been a word that's been used for centuries and then manipulate it in order to make it mean what you want it to mean. That's not how the English language works. But this is what they try to do. They try to take us boxing fans and pull the wool over all of our eyes. And it don't work like that. You can't change what a word means to try to make it fit the foolish decisions that the WBC did. And the WBC knew what they were doing because it created things like this. Somebody said he won the WBC franchise champion belt. Devin didn't win the WBC belt, so you can't really call him the true champion. Of course, this was underneath Teofimo's post. So you created calamity and chaos where fans were confused, and you had some people who were slighting Devin Haney saying, oh, Devin got his belt in the mail. Oh, Devin didn't really win his belt. Well, guess what? Neither did Lomachenko, because he was supposed to fight Devin, his mandatory, and he got a designation instead. But this is the game that they try to play against black fighters. Look, again, you've seen other comments at the time. How did Haney get that belt? So this is the keep away game that old media tried to play for over a year against Devin Haney. This is how they try to marginalize black fighters in the sport of boxing. So my question is, y'all must have forgot, I'm on some Roy Jones Jr. stuff. And it's going to be that way, baby. Pensacola in the house. Bro, y'all must have forgot. So now, if the people were saying, how did Haney get his belt? He the email champion. What do you have to say for yourselves now that Devin Haney, you can't say he's the email champ? And more so than Teo, Loma, and Kambosos, he went to Australia, beat the brakes off his opponent to end all disputes. There is no dispute that Devin Haney is the champion. I told you, old media is down bad. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. They tried so hard to take this black fighter, this black American fighter, and stagnate him. And they threw stones at him and said Devin Haney is not a true champion. He got his belts in the mail. All those things are now completely resolved since Devin Haney, he took a risk that Lomachenko didn't even do. Loma didn't fight Teo in New York. You know, the only person that did that was Kambosos. He fought Teo in New York, and Teo as a champion lost in New York. And then it was the challenger, Devin Haney, since y'all say he didn't really have a belt, who went to Australia and he cleared that up. Now there is no dispute. Versus when it was Teofimo, Loma, or Kambosos Jr., there was always a dispute that people had, and they were flinging around this undisputed jargon as if it made sense, and if you didn't agree, you were foolish. So I want to know what Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC and Teofimo Lopez have to now say, since I've showed you in this video that Teofimo was running around boxing calling himself undisputed. Now, I don't see Teofimo chomping at the bit, calling out Devin Haney after he beat George Kambosos. Surely he's heard the news that Devin Haney has beaten Kambosos in Australia at this point. So where's Teofimo Lopez? The jig is up. You see right here, these are the sanctioning bodies, and it has Devin Haney as the WBC champion. Yet and still, y'all allowed this man Teofimo Lopez to call himself undisputed. Now there is no dispute. Devin Haney is that. Where's Teofimo? Look, Lomachenko, it says WBA, IBF, and WBO. This is on BoxRec. So when he fought Lomachenko October 17th, 2020, they don't list the WBC belt. So this was all cap. It was all a charade. And now the game is over because Devin Haney beat you at your own game. Bill Haney beat you at your own game. Now all roads lead to Devin Haney, and I love it. I love it. Shout out to the Bay Area. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to people who believe in themselves. And, you know, Devin was willing to endure all the chastising, all the berating of his name, and he didn't lose focus. You got to respect it. Deuces. And I'm out.